Ladies and gentlemen, well, thank you very much for taking your time to join us today, especially with Mr. Jogi Simanjuntak, who will be presenting on the carbon, crypto, and blockchain technology project. But first, I want to thank all of you for taking your time from different locations, different places, some of you in Asia, in Europe, and also in the US, so multiple time zones. And thank you very much for being here with us today. And as usual, we have the safe harbor statement, and you are all familiar with that. And so I'm not going to go into too much detail, but of course, some of the statement we'll be sharing with you contain what we call forward-looking information, things that pertain to the future, and we must be aware that there'll be known and unknown uncertainties, risk, and factors that may differ from what we try to accomplish. So, such factors include many other things, and so please be careful, and investing into a low price security such as ours, has certain risks, so it has to be appropriate with your risk tolerance. So please be mindful of that. And also, I will just take a few minutes to go over like an overview of the company. I believe most of you, if not all of you, already know about PSI Group, but some of you may be new. So I want to share just a few minutes before our friend Mr. Jogi, he will be sharing information mainly on the CO2-1-0 carbon carbon credit or carbon mitigation program. PSI Group is established in June 1982, trading symbol PSIL. As you know, we have 40 billion shares authorized, roughly about 28 billion shares issued and outstanding, common stock about 180,000 shares of preferred stock. And our corporate strategy is to build and deploy valuable resources and participate in businesses that have large and growing market potential. And we want to create long-term value and provide point of exit for our investors through capital appreciation, or sometimes can be a spin-off or set of business units. Our scope of business includes the Luxembourg Bank Funds, a group of bank funds based in Luxembourg for investment into real estate, renewable energy, agriculture, healthcare, some other projects in natural resources and consumer industrial goods as well. And then our other major focus is the establishment of the Asia Diamond Exchange in Vietnam within a free economic zone. We've been working on it for 3.5, almost 4 years now, and now we have all the ingredients ready, and we're waiting for the COVID situation in Vietnam in particular, and worldwide in general, so that we can start. We also have advisory and consulting services through our Philux Capital Advisors. We advise and also consult for other clients in the US and also in Asia internationally. We've accomplished some of the major projects, like helping to take the first Vietnamese company capital public on NASDAQ. We listed our first company on the Frankfurt Stock Exchange in the past and so forth. We also helping a number of companies at the moment. And our merger and acquisition, not only advising our clients, but we also manage our own principal in-house merger acquisition program as well. For example, we just signed a letter of intent to acquire a 5-grain spirit company in Jilin province in China, and we have also other clients, other targets under review as well. We also participate in special situations, investing in situations that may have potential to generate superior return on investment. Those are very special cases. This just don't come by every day, but from time to time we do have those opportunities. And very exciting for us is the new initiative with the blockchain and crypto technologies. We sponsor and invest in blockchain and crypto technology initiative like the Asia Diamond Exchange and the carbon mitigation program. And we also have studied a few other projects that are in the early stage right now, but we'll be able to share with you in the very near future. And these are our subsidiaries, the Luxembourg Bank Funds, Felix Capital Advisor, Asia Diamond Exchange. We have a subsidiary in Vietnam, PSI Vietnam Investment and Development Company, and we have American Pacific Resources, American Pacific Plastics, which was set up to acquire Vietnam-based Vinofilm. Unfortunately, we haven't been able to complete the audit for Vinofilms due to a number of reasons. First, the change of auditor, and then when our new auditor came aboard, we got hit with COVID. He was contracted with COVID himself and was in India for quite some time. And Vietnam has been going through a recent lockdown, starting to open up right now. So hopefully our auditor can come back and complete the audit for Vinofilm so we can consolidate their numbers with ours. And of course, things have changed quite a bit due to the COVID pandemic, operationally and otherwise. But we will try to complete that as soon as possible. We also have a subsidiary called Vivite Healthcare, which is involved in a joint venture and also a new development, which we will announce sometime down the road. And the new name Empire Spirits Inc. actually is the old subsidiary of PSI that was established way back in 2004 under the name of Profimax. We've tried to do a couple of merger, but have not been able to consummate in the past. But now the company name has been changed to Empire Spirit, with the number of our shareholders having received dividend from this company in the past are still active in the company. So we'll be listing this as a separate public company down the road after completing the acquisition. It's a subsidiary under PSI right now. And most exciting is today's presentation on the CO2-1 Carbon Corp. Is a company registered in the state of Wyoming to manage the carbon mitigation program using blockchain and cryptocurrency. I mean, a technology which Mr. Choki will share with you in more detail. We have a very strong and experienced management team committed to create long-term sustainable value for our company and shareholders. And we invest and participate in selective industry in special situations that potentially generate superior returns for our shareholders. We provide M&A advisory services to international clients through our subsidiary Felix Capital Advisor. We intend to uplist our stock onto a major exchange. Actually, OTC market is not the place where we want to belong because of the scope of things we are trying to accomplish, and in order to be able to compete internationally, we will have to make some changes in the near future to get our stock on a major exchange. And we have Felix, PHI Group, Luxembourg Bank Funds, the Asia Diamond Exchange, the Blockchain Initiative, the acquisition of 5 ventures of Spirit, and a number of other things that we're also working at the moment. I think all these things will add a lot of value to our company and stock price in the future. Even though we've been going through a transition period with sometimes very heart-wrenching and very difficult for our shareholders to witness, but that will change. So yeah, just a quick summary, and then I would like to turn the forum over to our speaker, Mr. Joki Simanjuntak, so that he can share with you more on the exciting information, the program today, and the CO2-1-0 Carbon Corporation Carbon Mitigation Program for the world. Mr. Joki, please take the forum. It's yours. Yeah, thank you.
Yes, thank you very much, Henry, for the opening remarks and also for the introduction. Just realized that the CO2-1-0 is actually a subsidiary number 9 in PHI Groups, correct? So it's number 9. It's a good numbers.
Yes.
For CO2-1-0. So I would like to greet to all of you, especially the one in United States, North America, in Europe, and also in Asia. So good morning to all of you in North America, and good afternoon, sometime afternoon in Europe, and good evening in Asia. Well, I spent almost 1.5 years in Pennsylvania in about 20 years ago. So it's good to be greet to all of you. Maybe some of you came from Pennsylvania. So good morning to all of you, but also to all of the audience today. So let me share my screen. Henry, can I? Yeah, okay.
Yes, please.
Can you see my screen now?
Yeah, we can see it. Yes.
Okay. So maybe most of you have a question in mind. What does it mean by CO2-1-0 carbon Corp? So basically, this is also a principle why myself and also Henry developed this company. This is the principle of why we want to reduce, the emission of CO2 or CO2 emission together. So, as one, and to reduce it until 0. So CO2, the CO2 itself, the CO2, and 1 is together as one. We are not acting by ourselves, but we as the human in the planet Earth have to be act together as one to make sure that the emission is getting less or become 0. So that's the the basic principle. What does it mean of the CO2-1-0? So just to give you a clue on the meaning of the company names. So myself is my name is Joki Simanjuntak. I'm from Indonesia. So I spend most of my professional careers in business development, in renewable energy for the past 7-8 years. So that's why this project actually came based on my previous experience. Okay. Company purpose, the CO2-1-0 Carbon Corporation vision. The vision is to become #1 environmentally sustainable crypto on Earth, which will be adored by individuals and institutional impact investors. The tagline is the individuals, become #1 environmentally and sustainable crypto on Earth, adored by individuals and institutional impact investor. What is our mission? The mission is to accelerating combat climate change through massive participation, individuals and institutional, in real environmentally sustainable projects supported by blockchain technology plus IoT, which will be impact millions of people. So the project will be initiated in Indonesia because I based in Indonesia right now. Also in Vietnam, together parallelly because the renewable energy project growth in ASEAN is mostly in Indonesia and Vietnam, but also other countries. But we will start with Indonesia and Vietnam, and then goes to Asian countries, and then to worldwide. Again, this is the notes. Reduce, the meaning of CO2-1-0 is to reduce CO2 and other GHG. GHG is greenhouse gases with one spirit together towards zero carbon or decarbonize. So it starts with a problem. So we have 5 problems at the moment to drive this project have to be executed or has to be implemented soon. The first problem is, as we all know, that the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, or UNFCCC, together with the Paris Agreement and Kyoto Protocol in 2016, where Indonesia, Vietnam, and also other most of the countries in the world, a part of it, has agreed to maintain the Earth temperature will not exceed by 1.5 degrees Celsius by 2030. So that's the agreement among all of us. And also, I think in the next month, there will be a COP26, which will be held in Glasgow, where the president will come together again, to strengthen the how to combat climate change for our planet. Yeah, that's the first problem. Second problem is, therefore, because we agreed to reduce this 1.5 degrees Celsius not to exceed by 1.5 degrees Celsius by 2030. Therefore, we need to reduce the GHG, the greenhouse gases, which is the root cause of global climate change. These GHG mainly are 6 gases: CO2, CS4, N2O, and so on, which each gas can be calculated as CER, or CO2 emission reduction equivalent. Target for Indonesia in 2030 is to reduce 834 million tons of CR. That's problem number 2. Problem number 3, currently the CER, or the carbon emission reductions, is being tediously registered, validated, verified, and certified centrally under UNFCCC methodology by a few independent institutions, mostly in the US and Europe, where the CER letter can be traded as carbon credit voluntarily. That's problem number 3. Problem number 4, for the past 5 years, the market for carbon credits is nearly zero. It's worthless, it's worth nothing, it's zero. And it is due to complexity of the process. Many companies, projects have less appetite to be engaged into the carbon credits opportunity. So that's problem number 4. And problem number 5, many environmentally sustainable projects, renewable energy, waste, agriculture, forestry, and so on, fail to get financial support, especially at the initial or development stage, due to the above reason, because of the tedious process of to getting the carbon credits. So I mentioned several times about carbon credits, but maybe some of you maybe not well aware of these carbon credits. Just to remind that currently, in anywhere in the world, in any countries, they implement what they call a carbon tax and carbon credits. Carbon tax basically to penalize a company or institution or industry that emit the carbon CO2. But on the other hand, the carbon credits is like an incentive that given to any activities, any projects that can reduce or eliminate the carbon emissions. So that's the difference. So carbon tax mostly arranged and regulated by the government, but carbon credits, it is regulated in, depends on the region. There is like a North America region, Europe region, Asia. So, but it's not one yet. It's not one spirit yet. So everyone has their own policy and regulations. So just to give you more explanation on the carbon credit, I will present to you a short video about the carbon credit. So it's giving you a better understanding of the carbon credit. Let me share the video here.
Let us break down for you how this all works. Every time an organization uses a resource that relies on burning fossil fuels, it creates carbon emissions, also known as a carbon footprint. Everybody has a carbon footprint. But when these emissions enter the atmosphere, they accelerate climate change, bringing, among other things, more extreme weather. Thankfully, the plummeting costs of low-carbon technologies and more resource-efficient practices mean that many organizations are reducing their footprints, becoming more resilient, and saving on energy expenditure. But reducing emissions is challenging, something that doesn't happen overnight. And with our present systems of energy and land use, preventing any carbon dioxide emissions is not currently possible for most organizations. This is where carbon credits come in. Buying carbon credits compensates for the unavoidable emissions you create today by financing projects that reduce or absorb carbon emissions anywhere in the world. Carbon credits increase the health and prosperity of communities around the world and combat climate change by financing projects. Projects that reduce the need to burn fossil fuels or draw greenhouse gases directly out of the air. Accreditations from internationally recognized standards give you the assurance that the projects producing your credits deliver the positive environmental and social impacts they set out to achieve. Moreover, your credits help finance projects that would not otherwise happen. So as well as offsetting your emissions, you are also supporting more sustainable forms of growth. How good is that?
Yes, sounds very good, right? But in reality, to implement those carbon credit is very, as I mentioned earlier, it's very tedious. Why is tedious? Let me share you this. So we go back to the previous presentation. So this is the process of how carbon credit can be claimed. Yeah. First, we start with the project idea note, project design document, PDD, validation, verification, issuance, and then goes to the project developers, and then they can sell it as the certified CER, and then goes to the wholesalers, retailers, and then buy by the end buyers, and then after that retirements. So it looks simple, but actually in reality I've done this before. So I spend like for one project, for one carbon credit, it takes like 1.5 to 2 years even just to get the CER certified. So what happened is, if you look at this, there will be a consultant needed to do this PDD, project design documents. There is also auditors need to do these validations. Another auditors to do the verifications. And then for the issuance, issuers will also have to be, done this and then to certify the carbon credits. And then after that, it goes to the market, and it needs wholesaler or retailer to sell it to the market. It takes time. It takes also a fee or money to make sure that this CR can be buy by the end buyers. So all of this process from project idea notes, PDD, up to the end buyer takes a lot of time, take a lot of intermediaries, take a lot of fees, take a lot of consultants, take a lot of auditors. It is very, frustrating. Many of us says, because we know this on the CDM era. CDM is a Clean Development Mechanism era, but we change it. Our jargon is very CDM is a complicated and difficult mechanism. It's not easy as as the video as I showed it earlier. So based on this tedious carbon credit process, we come up with a new in a new process, a new way how to develop this, and then with the spirit that we have to accelerate the combating climate change. How? Solution. First, we will create a disruptive, decentralized new carbon market system using blockchain technology, fueled with carbon token. The token name is carbon, just to get it easier. And actually, the symbols is just like in my background, the green balls with C. C is a stand for carbon. Green balls, it's not black balls. Carbon used to be black, but since we expect that this project will make our planet greener, so I change it to green balls. That's also one of the philosophy behind the symbols of the token. So the system will maintain the TACCC, transparent, accurate, consistent, complete, and comparable principles, with a strategic improvement, which is using Six Sigma, where I spent almost 10 years on that. I'm the master black belt from General Electric, and will direct manage the carbon engagement in smart contract. Smart contract is contracts developed under the blockchain technology. Therefore, with the carbon blockchain plus IoT on the next for the verification, and its crypto token will empower the real environmentally sustainable projects or renewable energy, waste, agriculture, forestry, etc. within Indonesia, Vietnam, ASEAN countries, and worldwide. So that's the solution that we offer on this project. So what is our unique value proposition? This is very important. Basically, all the marketing people or the blockchain person will look at what is the value of the token offered. First, we simplified, fast, and yet robust carbon credit process with Six Sigma deployment. Second, we still accommodate the existing unsold CER or verified emission reduction amount done by CDM or gold standard or FERA, as shown in the previous video, which will be appraised accordingly. And the third, we encourage everyone to participate combating climate change, including individuals. At the time being, it's very difficult for every one of us as an individual to participate in to buy carbon credits in the market. Normally, it's a big companies like Microsoft or Google, buy this as a corporation. But as individual, it's very rare. It's very difficult to buy, say, 1 ton or 2 tons of carbon. So it's a new approach. By having a by having a blockchain technology, we can do that. Even we can just buy 1 kilo of CER of a carbon emission reduction. Number 4, a project will accumulate 10 years CER in advance. This is the principle how we can accelerate combat climate change, and renewable second 10 years cycle with the verified by IoT deployment. Number 5, borderless source of CER, any countries, any region. This is not the same as current practice, because current practice, Europe have their own CER system, which is called ETF. In North America also they have their own CER market, and then also Asia, in China, they're developing their own market. But now we have a borderless source of CER and limitless market, since we will put it the token or the carbon token in exchange for CER. So we will leverage the crypto exchange in the world, like Binance, like Coinbase, like KuCoin, and so on, as the market for the carbon. So it is another solution. While many of CER holder right now find difficulties to find buyers, but now not because the market is there, it's ready. So the utilization of the carbon token will be first as a fuel for all activities or projects related to combating global climate change. So this is the first principle that we will accelerating, how to get to achieve this zero emission by 2050 or 2060 in some other countries. Second, as a strategic investment product, as the total token supply will be fixed at 1 billion token, or 1,000 million token, which is equal to 1 gigaton of carbon for 10 years, while demand of these carbon credits actually very big here, about 23 gigaton per year for CR. The third utilization of carbon token is compliancy purpose. As I mentioned earlier, corporation wants to offset the carbon. So as a net zero target in 2050 or 2060, so it's a compliancy purpose. And number 4, as a crypto can be used as payment, as a exchange for, say, they can buy a product from green projects or from merchants that sell green products, or can finance green activity and so on and so on. So it can be the utilization of the token itself can be fuel, investment product, compliancy, and crypto. This is very important because all of the investors in the crypto market right now will look for this. Why we need to invest in carbon token? Because these 4 reasons, these 4 main reasons: the fuel, investment product, compliance purpose, and as a crypto. Next question is why now? So before I and Henry implement this project, we do some quick survey in Indonesia, mostly for the millennials, the new generation, and asking whether they're interested to participate in the combating climate change, whether they are interested to invest in any activities that related to combat climate change, and so on and so on. So the result is very, very good, and very surprised that all the millennials, 89% aware of the global climate change. 96% of them ready to support combat climate change. 81% ready to support combat climate change by buying investment product, and 77% of them ready to support combating climate change with riskier investment products such as stock and crypto. So the COVID situation right now is actually is also speed up, the awareness and also the interest towards the crypto industry, crypto market. So the next year, 2022, it is predicted that it's going to be a boom for renewable energy project, also the initiative that related to carbon credits because of this survey result. Well, if we look at the market size, as I mentioned earlier, the market is big. This is based on the study done by the McKinsey. So we have enormous market size, 23 gigatons of CO2 emission to be reduced in year 2030. So it's huge. Right now, the token itself is only cover 1 gigaton because it's 1 billion token. So it's 1 token related to 1 ton. So it is only less than 5% of the market. So we are not worried of the market because the market is so huge, 23 gigatons. We only cover just 1 ton of it. And also it's mentioned by the McKinsey that the market for carbon credits is estimated to be about $50 billion by 2030. So it is a huge number again, huge market again for carbon credits. How you want to do it? Of course, we cannot do it with that very tedious process. We have to make it simplified. We have to implement Six Sigma. We have to make sure that everyone's from a buyer side, from supplier side, is also happy with this process, and then we can expedite on the combat climate change. This is from the Indonesia alone. So target to reduce the CO2 is, as I mentioned at the very earlier page, is about 834 million year in 2030. So altogether in Asian country is estimated around 2 to 3 gigatons. This is Asian alone. Altogether worldwide is about 23 gigatons I mentioned in the previous page. Yeah. Competition. In terms of the competition, there are some white paper regarding the blockchain as well. At least I found two, one from Korea and one from Wyoming, University of Wyoming as well. But until now, those two has not been implemented yet. I think because of the difficulties to find the real projects that related to the carbon climate change. In October 2021, so this month, there are also two tokens announced in Indonesia and Singapore that they also will focus on the carbon as well. But one is called Roxy. It is promoted by Indonesian entrepreneur Peter Gonta, but they are focusing on the forestry product. So plan to launch in Q1 2022, so almost the same as us, but us is more on focusing on the renewable energy side or on the energy saving side. The other one is based in Singapore. They are focusing on the wind farm in China. So this is the competition. We are actually thankful for this because with the competition, we can compare ourselves with others, and also the awareness of the carbon token or carbon credits is become increasing more and more. It is good also for us, even though we know that the market is huge. We don't think that this is going to be a fierce competition among the carbon or the credit carbon credits players. So this is our carbon development roadmap. So we will start with the renewable energy project first, then energy saving projects, and then heat recovery projects. That's the phase one. Phase two will be cover industrial processing projects, food processing waste projects, and the phase three we will cover agriculture project, forestry projects, and other land use projects. So basically, it is every phase will become steady in about 3 to 4 years. So altogether, in about 10 years altogether. Phase one, phase two, phase three. This is on the carbon itself. The next phase of the token itself, beyond carbon, we will develop what we call water token, ocean token, air token. So basically, this is about our environmental, about our planet, about our sustainability of our living. So again, this is probably different than other token that have a different projects or different vision mission of the crypto, but this is what make us different from others. So the business model is a simplified by this chart. Yeah. So any projects goes to the carbon blockchain system through the TACC ledgers, which is, or we can call it as a smart contract. And this project will be receive some amount of token as the exchange of the carbon credits. Then carbon credit is sells in the exchange, in the crypto exchange, and can buy or purchase by the investors, any investor, individual or institution, and they can receive the token. They can use it as the utilization that I mentioned earlier. There is four, yeah? As investment, as the crypto, and so on and so on. So one carbon token representing 1 ton of CR. Initially, we will issue 46 million token, which is will be issued and circulated at the inception price of $1. This is for the first years. Token will be mint and burn, total circulation 1 billion. And according to the growth and maturity of the projects, the token will be listed in Binance and other possible exchanges. And the next stage, token can be used in merchants such as coffee shop, organic shops, etc. This is more detailed process map, but this is still high level. But just to show you that there are some stakeholders here: the project owner, the CO2-1-0, the exchange, the buyer, investor, and merchant. So I think you can later read this, the process map later on. But basically, it's just a detail of this business model. And this is how we can make profit or make benefit from for CO2-1-0. Every CR that produced by one project, we will share with the number of the token. If the CR ton per year is less than 1,000, so we will share 50-50. The more the size of the CR, then the more the project owner we can get the token contribution. So 50-50, 60-40, 70-30, 80-20. Most of the project will be led between 1,000 to 100,000 ton per year. So on number 2 or number 3, this is where the most project, renewable energy project, will be lay in this category. So we will expect to have like a 30 to 40% of the token issued by the projects. This is the token production plan. As I mentioned earlier, the total numbers of token will be 1 billion. So every year we will produce a different amount of token. First year is 46, second is like 60 or 80 million, and the third year is 100 million. But altogether, as a cumulative, will be capped to 1 billion token. Why we want to cap it? Because we want to make sure that the supply is fixed, so the price is also will be stable or at least not decrease because of the supply demand principle. Token carbon product specification, a symbol will be carbon, logo is just like my background, just like C with green balls. Total supply, fixed supply of 1 billion token. The value is fluctuated based on market appreciation. Blockchain protocol, we will use Binance Smart Chain. Smart contract standard, we will use ERC20, fungible token. And programming language, we will use Solidity. And utility, again, this is very important for all blockchain community. First, fuel for combating global climate change projects. Second, strategic investment product. Third, compliancy purpose for carbon offset. And fourth, as a cryptocurrency. Okay, next is about myself. I think I already introduced myself. I have 7 years in renewable energy as a Six Sigma Master Black Belt in GE, and altogether about 25 years. Next is this is Henry Faman, the chairman and the co-founder of the project of the CO2-1-0. I think most of you know Henry very well. He's had a 30 years experience and graduate from Harvard and California at Berkeley. And as he mentioned at the beginning, he lead a lot of companies, at least 9 subsidiaries, including CO2-1-0. And this is a core team, our core team, and it's keep counting. We plan to have for the first initial team will be around 12 persons. Right now it's like we have 5, but it will be keep growing and growing until first years. Yeah, so we will have 12 persons in our project team. And this is very important milestone that I think all of us need to take a note and take a note, because this is very important, especially for investors. So this month until next month, until November this year, we will develop a website called www.CO2-1-0 launch, and then we will start to collect the CR from projects. So we have pipelines already. In Indonesia, we have more than 100 projects ready for this. And in Vietnam, we have more than 50 projects, mostly in solar projects, ready to be accumulated and put into the system, into the blockchain systems. And in between December this year and before IDO is the initial decentralized exchange public offering, we will do private sales, pre-sale, flash sale, airdrop, bounty transfer, which is actually to introduce the token, the concept to the market. So that's the marketing approach for the token. And this is the first public offering, which will be done in 20 January next year. So it's good dates, good number, 2021-2022. So it's 22 January next year, we will do this IDO, initial decentralized exchange public offering, where everyone can start to purchase the token, normally with a discount. Then the next milestone, which is also very important, is the listed in the exchange, which is called IEO, Initial Centralized Exchange Public Offering, which will be, it is planned to be happen in 22 or 22nd April next year. So it's again, we pick a good number again, 22/04/22. So after that, we will start operationally in a full speed. But this is the very important dates from now until the next 6 months. So please stay tuned with us, mark the dates, and follow our social media, whether in Instagram, whether in Telegram, in WhatsApp, TikTok, Snapchat, anywhere, and don't miss this opportunity, because this is where we can offer token with a special discount before it goes to open public in 22 April 22. Thank you. I think that's about it. Henry, I return to you, get back to you. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Joki. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your time as well. And, Joki himself is an accomplished and seasoned professional with more than 25 years of broad and progressive industrial experiences, 7 years of them in renewable energy and 8 years in business process improvement, with certified Six Sigma Master Black Belt, and more than 10 years in global business development. He used to work with Schlumberger, with GE, and also got his MBA in Monash University. And he's a strategic thinker, and also a very excellent, has excellent analytical and communication skills, and a strong team player. And it's a great pleasure for us to have Joki lead this process. And he's a doer. He's done it, and now accumulating the experience, the expertise to spearhead, to lead this project. Not only for Indonesia, not only for Vietnam, not only for Asia, but it will be all for on a global scale. And we believe blockchain and crypto technologies are here to stay and will grow much further. That's why we started out with the ADE development with the token, and we will announce that very soon. Sorry, we're supposed to have already provided you with some update on that, but we will do when it is right. I know everybody is anxious to hear it, and with the timetable, the schedule that Joki has shared with us, we'll be moving very fast on this too. CO2-1-0 carbon project. We're doing quite rapidly. So in the next 3 months to 6 months, there'll be a lot of exciting news to share with you. Today, probably that will be it for our presentation. And thank you again for your time and patience with us. And we will be announcing noteworthy news when it's ready. I know everybody's anxious to hear a lot of things, and we will let everybody know at the same time. I'm not going to share just to 1 or 2 persons. So please, and if those who text me or write emails, please forgive me. I just cannot answer all of those individually. Again, thank you for your patience, for your support, and for your loyalty. We believe we have something very extraordinary with this carbon CO2 program here, and we can expect to see a lot of good things in the upcoming days and months. Again, thank you very much, and those of you in Asia, good night, and also good afternoon for those who still have afternoon, and of course, America, we still have a full day of work. And God bless you, and stay safe and healthy. Thank you very much. Yeah, goodbye for now. Thank you. Bye. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.